move on to our next guest, who is Isaac. And Isaac is the National Director of Green Africa Youth Organization in Uganda. This is GAYO. If you remember at the beginning of this, we mentioned that we have a partner in this program, and that partner is GAYO. So Isaac is from GAYO, and he champions youth-led climate action, green entrepreneurship, and community resilience through partnerships, innovation, and policy engagement. So his work focuses on climate finance, youth empowerment, and sustainable livelihoods, and also accelerating practical solutions to the climate crisis. So Isaac, I don't know if you're here with us, but if you are, you can go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Josephine. Good evening from Kampala, and good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. My name is Isaac Ndyamuhaki. I can put on my screen. My name is Isaac Ndyamuhaki, and I lead the team at Green Africa Youth Organization. I would like to know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can,
I
Isaac.
can see my screen. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So thanks, Helen, for unpacking circular economy, and also, highlighting your own story and example when it comes to circular economy. And I was following through everything that people were saying about circular economy. Thank you so much for taking that interest to actually know what circular economy is, and definitely you are very, very right with the definitions that you gave out. So quite relatable, but I'll just kind of unpack relationship or the opposite of circular economy, to linear economy. So with circular economy, you all mentioned that it is an economic system that keeps products and materials in use, of course, for as long as possible. But then away from circular economy, we have the linear economy. So with linear economy, you just extract resources. So you make use of it and then dispose it away. So with circular economy, you're trying to bring back the resources, but with linear, you always take and dispose. And of course, you will notice with linear economy, there is resource depletion. By resource depletion, we are talking about, for example, you get a raw material, you go back to get more, you get back to get more, and at the end of the day, you exhaust it. Then it is associated with so much pollution, and of course, short product life associated with linear economy. And with circular economy, it is the opposite. So when we are talking about circular economy, what are we talking about? What are we meaning? We are meaning you design, use, recover, and reuse. Something similar to what you guys were mentioning in the chat. Quite relatable and quite true. And of course, with circular economy also is resource regeneration, meaning if you have harvested your maize and then you and then you get the residue, or you get the crops, or you get the stocks that would literally be thrown away. You reuse them. How can you reuse them? You can reuse them to, to make compost. You can reuse them to grow other crops. For example, who knows that they can grow mushrooms from, such kind of, residues? Or elsewhere, like what Helen is already doing, uh, get the plastics and reuse them, or give them another life by making, another material like threads, just like what Helen is doing. It's what we are talking about as circular economy. And also, it is environmentally sustainable in a way that when you're doing that, you are contributing to the well-being of the environment. But then you might ask yourself, why circular economy matters. So circular economy matters because new businesses and green jobs can be created. We shall see key examples, key examples of green businesses, and even Helen has already given a key reference to Hilton Traders. Then reducing environmental pollution and greenhouse gases, and conservation of natural resources, and strengthening local economies and livelihoods. And in my key message, I want to, keep emphasizing the economics and the sustainability bit of it, because it's what it's what matters more. When we are strengthened economically, and then we have our environment sustained or maintained or protected, then we see a better way of, living. We also see a much more harmonious economic growth at a higher level. And again, Helen mentioned something to do with when you say waste is not waste until it is wasted. So it is possible to give waste another life rather than wasting it. But in the process of giving it another life, you can derive livelihood, you can derive economic growth, you can derive jobs, you can derive a lot of things. So I want to dive into the opportunities when we are looking at circular economy. Some of the opportunities, we have organic waste, and with organic waste, we are looking at compost, we are looking at black soldier fly farming, we are looking at biogas, we are looking at briquettes. So when you look at this particular row, you see quite a number, or you see around 3 industries. You have the agriculture industry, then you have the energy industries. There are 2, agriculture and energy industry, and these are already key sectors of the economy where much business opportunity is. If you look at energy, everyone needs energy because energy is a universal resource required for growth of an economy. There's no economy that grows without energy. Then when we look at compost and black soldier fly production, you're now looking at agriculture. When you look at Uganda's context, agriculture is the backbone of Uganda. So food has to be produced, but how do we produce the food? Is food production sustainable? What kind of inputs do we use? How do we maintain soil health? how do we manage the emissions from the agricultural sector caused by some of these interventions. Then plastic waste, I don't want to go into much in it. Can we can already reference from what Helen has presented, but there are several other things that people can get from reusing and repurposing plastic. Then paper waste. Now we have young people repurposing paper waste into packaging materials, into notebooks, into other products that people use on a daily basis. And then also glass. Some young people use glass for decoration, and a lot of things. With electronic waste, some people reuse some of the electronic wastes to bring back life of dead electronic appliances and others. So in a nutshell, we have quite a number of business opportunities, and whoever is on this call, it would be good to interest yourself more. There would be kind of practical and physical exchanges that will be taking place throughout this mentorship. And as far as I'm informed, some of you will be going to visit Asili Kwanza, Uganda, where briquette making and black soldier fly farming is already taking place. To have that kind of real life interface of what we are talking about, to have a kind of idea of how things are possible, and we'll be looking forward to that. So how do you build a circular business? How do you build a circular business? And yes, with circular business, oh sorry, can you still see my screen fine?
Yes, we can.
All right. Yeah, so you identify a waste stream. This is kind of a bit of generic because we are looking at a circular business. So which waste stream do you think you can work with? Helen said she works with plastic. As you the people say they are working with organics. Others, for example, in the ghettos, they look at glass. What waste stream do you look at? And of course, this is informed by the baselines or by your own research that you can do. But you may not go to the field, but there's a lot of data on internet which you can still rely on to know what waste stream, how do I deal with it, how is its abundance, something like that. Is it food waste? Is it plastic bottle? Is it agricultural waste? Is it used textile? A lot of things. We have entrepreneurs like for example, Maweje Creation. They use used textile waste to repurpose it into cross bags and other beautiful items for people to use or buy. Then after identifying the waste stream, you look at the problem. What is that problem? Because every business must solve a problem, must be hinged on a problem. What problem are you looking at? So the problem is the same as the pain point. What are people facing? When you have a problem and someone comes to, solve it, then you're more than willing to pay for that, to pay that person because they have solved the problem. So you identify that problem. So the next step, you create value. How which value do I create, to solve this problem? Can I transform this waste to fertilizer so that people can buy them? Can I transform this waste into food? For example, growing mushrooms so that people can buy the mushrooms, eat it. Which value do you create? You have to meticulously, synthesize and see which value you can create, because everyone will always pay for the value that is derived from a product. No one will want to buy a product if it doesn't have value for them. Then after that, you build a business model. And in the business model, you look at how much have you put in the product and how much can you sell in that product. If I have produced 1 kilogram of briquettes, how much have I incurred? Maybe I've incurred 500 shillings to produce a kilogram of briquettes. Then how much do I sell? I should be able to sell at a price that is over the cost of production. So that is the business model. That's how you build the business model. You understand the unit cost of a product, then you set a unit price of the product. So that at the end of the day, you have a reasonable profit margin that will keep you running and building the business and sustaining it and transforming the communities and absorbing more waste and creating more jobs and doing a lot of work. So basically, those are the 4 key things that you need to build a circular business. If there's any question, then you can place it in the chat, or when I'm finishing, you raise your hand so that we don't leave anyone behind. So away from the steps, I would like to give a few more tips when we are building a circular business. So tip number 1, start with a local problem. Start from where you are. If you're in Kamocha, if you're in Kororo, if you're anywhere, start from your local area. Those problems are always there, because we all know that people who are close to the problem will always provide the best solutions for those problems. Then the second tip would be begin small and scale gradually. Begin small and scale gradually. You do not need to start with so much production, because it would be hard for you to manage. But when you start small, then you're able to learn so many things along the way. You're able to know how to keep records. You're able to know how to track your impact. You're able to know your target market. You're able to know a lot of things. And then once you get all those things that you need to know, then you keep expand. And at the end of the day, you are able to have a successful and growing enterprise. Remember, most enterprises we don't see their first anniversary. So you need to also be well versed with that anniversary. And Helen also hinted on it that she faced a lot of challenges while starting her business. But through resilience and learning many things along the way, it has kept her going and she's growing. Then another tip is that you need to build partnerships with communities and local governments or stakeholders. Don't aim at working alone. Don't think if I share with this other people, they're going to steal my idea. they might steal the idea, but they have not stolen your head. They have not stolen your thinking. They have not stolen your narrative. You can still move. And we have an analogy in my culture that he who wants to brew alone always brews less tasty alcohol or brew. So work with other stakeholders or work with other people so that you're able to have the best out of it. Then prioritize quality and customer satisfaction. It comes back to value, something that I mentioned about. When something is of good quality and customers find satisfaction in it, they will always recommend. Hey, this product is good, please use it. This product is good, please. They will even advertise on your behalf. I remember when we had joined the university, some of us didn't know about KFC, but our colleagues would go to KFC and they take photos of KFC bar, of KFC, and post, and that would build the urge to go and buy the product. So be that entrepreneur that makes a good quality product so that whoever uses it even wants to advertise it or wants to make the public about it. Then continuously innovate. Don't settle when you're building the green business enterprise. Get that something new every time. If there is something new where you can reduce the cost but also increase value, please continuously do that. And on that particular point, I would like to recommend a book which you can also go and read so that you get a better context of this. So you will go and read the Blue Ocean Strategy. If you have a notebook, you can write that title down. The book is called Blue Ocean Strategy. Even online, you can easily get a copy or a soft copy of that book. So that's literally what I would like to share with you. But in a nutshell, I'd like to leave a key message that waste is not the end of the product life. It is the beginning of a new business opportunity, and every discarded material has the potential to create value, generate income, and protect the environment.